It is my pleasure this morning to interview Kevin and Mindy Harris. Uh, she founded Summer Lane Counseling in 2022 in Selma, Alabama. She claims with the unwavering support of her husband, Kevin, and we're so glad he could be with us this morning. Her passion is to help people create lives that they don't want to escape from. I think that's a great mission statement. So first of all, Mindy, congratulations that your article was chosen to be published on Authority Magazine recently. The name of your business, Summer Lane Counseling, is an interesting name. Do you want to explain that?
Yes. Thank you again, Miss Nancy, for the opportunity. This I'm just speechless. And that's shocking because usually I have a lot to say. But Summer Lane Counseling came about from my upbringing. Growing up in the city of Selma, Alabama, it's a historic town, but we have a lot of challenges that we had to face and still do today. But I grew up on King Lane. That's my home, still my home. My parents still live there today. And the church that I'm a part of, a member of, Women Chapel, Alabama, is on Summerfield Road, which I also have roots where my grandmother grew up in her family on Summerfield Road. So I took Summerfield and King Lane, and I chose those two words. I played around with it, but Summer Lane sounded much better. And so church and home were two locations that groomed me. I had great experiences there. I was able to learn how to do problem solving, conflict resolution. Also, most importantly, I learned how to love and respect the community, which is to be a helper. So those were two places that I feel like made me who I am. And I wanted those characteristics to make sure they exuded through my counseling practice. So when you come to us, we want to make sure you feel welcome, you love.
Yes.
We want you to know that we're here to serve and to help you. So that's how Summer
That's
Lane came
that's
about.
a wonderful story. Kevin, tell me, first of all, what is your profession?
So right now I'm pretty much a team lead out at James Hardy Incorporated out in Prattville, Alabama. Pretty much run a group of guys that we make fiber cement siding. But
Okay.
at, pretty much I'm trying to get out of that profession. I'm working on passive income to suffice so I can have more financial freedom and more time freedom for my family. So that's the main thing. So time freedom is my profession right now.
That's your goal. Okay. Well, what prompted you to give Mindy such unwavering support as she founded her business, Summer Lane Counseling?
So like maybe like a few years back, I was getting into like a lot of motivational speakers, like a lot of like affirmation stuff like that. And it was like, whatever you want, you need to write it down and you need to look at that piece of paper pretty much 3 times a day.
Yes.
So one of my affirmations or one of my list things on that list was for my wife to have her own private practice by the time we're 45.
Oh,
I
I
that,
think
that
you beat that.
I don't know why that number came up, but that was my number. But
Uh-huh.
that came way before that time. So if you want it, write it down, speak it into existence. That was my big thing. And plus, she's a go getter. She's a people person. She loves people. She loves helping people. So that was her thing. So I know that will get us out the rut. That will make us successful. And that's just something she like to do. So why not do something you like to do and get paid for it?
Well, you're an amazing man, a wonderful husband to give her such unwavering support for the work that she loves.
Miss Nancy, that was not on my agenda. That was not in my future. But again, goes to show how things turn around, and I'm here way before 45 because we're still in
Yeah,
our 30s. So
Yeah.
way before 45.
I was very, very fortunate to have a husband like you, Kevin. who believed in me, supported me. I would not have fulfilled my own dreams if it hadn't been for my late husband's belief and support in me. So I really treasure that, and I still treasure it in my own life. And I love it when I hear of any woman who is being given the kind of support you gave Mindy. You work, Mindy, with individuals, couples, and families. Our first relationship lessons come from our parents. I'm wondering, what lessons did you bring with you from your early years?
I think everything. I'm about to get teary-eyed about it now. My parents have been together before I was born, and still is. Their love story today is just, amazing. And just to see how the household was ran, how my daddy took care of things, my mom did too. My mom also had her own daycare, so she was her own businesswoman as well. My dad supported her through that. And me and Kevin come from different backgrounds. My family, my parents were married. His was not married. And so I think to see me push so hard for our marriage and to have those grounds, and that my family to support us in what that looks like, everything. So patient, honesty, hard working, God fearing, parents, like everything. Even with the argument, I was able to see that arguments would happen, but that's not the end goal. They would still have their rules where they still, even with arguing nowadays, you see people sleep on the couch, or they go to a hotel, or they leave. I went to bed, my parents argued, they went to bed together, they woke up together, kissed each other on the cheek, went to work, I learned at an early age that arguments or disagreements didn't scare me.
So arguments didn't end the marriage or even make it very difficult. I mean, the commitment to each other shone through, no matter what was going on. What prompted you to set the goal of helping others create lives that they don't want to escape from?
That tagline just it came. I gotta say, God placed it in my spirit. But being in my friend group circles, encounters with college, and just even with church and different dynamic, it seems like um people are always saying they want to get away, or they need a vacation, or they can't be themselves, or they can't do this, or this can't happen. And it causes a lot of anxiety. It causes a lot of depression. As we know today, people stay in situations or on jobs or do things because of fear and things that they can't do. And that was my thing, is me trying to live it today as well. It would just be so much easier if we just have the life we don't have to escape. It would be so less stressful. It'll be,
Yes.
we'll have to just show up authentically as we are, and it will groom us and help us to be okay with what we have, who we are, and why we know what we do. So that's just, I was trying to make something as simple as possible, and I feel like everybody could understand that statement, and it's
It's a
achievable.
wonderful mission statement. I love it. You have children. How many
Yes,
children?
we have one child,
One child.
a 4-year-old. His name is Kaiser Karan, and he has been a breath of fresh air. But we also have been learning things about ourselves too as the parent.
Children
Um,
are fun, but they also put more stress on the marriage, don't they?
Yeah, Kaiser is one of a kind, like the older people say. Now I've heard like numerous older people say, well, aged people, I shouldn't say older. Like Kaiser has been here before. Like Kaiser would teach us stuff that we don't even know about ourselves. Like sometimes you like, so he has feelings with like stuff that
Kevin, you'll have to speak toward the microphone.
So Kaiser has feelings that older people should have. Like sometimes he would see us like around the house. He was like, "So, Daddy, you shouldn't get frustrated." So this is coming from a 4 year
Oh
old.
my gosh,
Coming from a 4 year old.
he's
Yeah,
a little counselor.
exactly. So I think he's taking after his mom. So Kaza has changed our life for the better. So
Uh-huh.
And get in like a little tip or this. I'm a loud talker anyway, so naturally I'm loud. Even when I'm excited, I'm just loud. So me and him can get. And Kevin, as you can see, is he's soft spoken. Kaiser will be like, "Mommy and Daddy, okay, Daddy, you go to timeout. Mommy, you go to timeout. Work it out." It be so funny. So even in his eyes, showing him that hey, mom and dad we still love each other even though we disagree. So he's learning that at an early age. It looked like he got some good conflict resolution skills already at 4. So
Well, you're teaching him some very valuable skills by modeling them for him. And
absolutely.
you know, how awesome is that? I wish every child could grow up in a home like yours. You named several myths about marriage. One that you mentioned is the belief that the the mythic belief that our partner should meet all of our needs. Do you want to comment a little bit about that?
so everything.
I'm sorry, your voice is cutting out, Kevin.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you.
Okay, so everybody want everything to be perfect with a relationship. Perfect is easy. Everybody won't think everything to be easy. They say, okay, I got a relationship, I got a partner that does everything that I see, agrees with everything that I see. Everybody's cool with that. But the thing is, you want somebody that you can grow with. You want somebody to be there through your bad times and their bad times. That's how you know you locked in, you got a bond, you know it's gonna last more than I don't know what the rate is of divorce right now, but I know it's more than 50%. So if you know somebody, you got somebody that's locked in that's gonna deal with all your nonsense and you're gonna deal with all their nonsense, you know you're good to go.
Okay.
I know that when it comes to expectations, usually when we get to the root of it, it's about people, you want people to do stuff to make you happy.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the second step. The first step, you got to do something to make yourself happy. It's not Kevin's job to make me happy. It's not my job to make him happy internally. However, things that we do together, of course, we will enjoy. But I think it comes down to people. They want always want you to do something to make me happy. Want you? Do you even know yourself? What makes you happy?
Right. Right.
So yeah. So we
Well,
that's of the work doing the self work. Hey, let's not focus on what this person is or isn't doing. Let's focus on where you're doing and where you're not doing for yourself.
good
That
for
fuel.
you. Oh, I
Mhm.
love that. I love that. Uh, you you mentioned, maybe summing that up, you said you need to maintain a balance between supporting each other and maintaining your own independence and self-care. So what do you do, Mindy, for self-care?
Oh, it has changed over the years. Now, and we're sitting on it right now. My self care is this couch where I find me a good crime show or a reality show. I'm into both, and I have a moment, and that's what I do. Either Kevin will take Kaiser outside to play, so I can have a moment. Also, having a little extra time in the shower in the morning has
Uh-huh.
done wonders. Has done
Uh-huh.
wonders when it comes to that. And I also get to do little outings with some of my friends where we just go out to eat and
Oh,
spending time with Kevin. Like today, he was off today. I made it half a day. We're going to check out the food truck downtown.
great, great. So you're getting some good couple time in today as well as self-care. You mentioned loving Kevin and his love language. How important is understanding and giving love to each other in your respective love languages?
To me, very important early on, because like I was stated earlier, I grew up in a two-parent home. So we were lovey-dovey. We always gave hugs. We always gave kisses and things like we was always in each other's space. And I thought showing it to Kevin would represent, hey, I love you. This is what we do. But I learned as we got, continued to go together and date early that is not his love language.
Okay,
And um so it's very important. So now that I can show him in his interpretation of love, we can communicate better. It comes
Kevin,
out much better.
Kevin, what is your love language?
I guess maybe words.
Can't hear you, sweetie.
I'm sorry, maybe just words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation.
Because I got where I think about it, because I never saw it growing up. I had a loving grandmother and mother, but I never saw that back, so I never know anything about it. So that's something you're dealing with day by day. So maybe, yeah, words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation. That was my husband's love language as well.
Mhm.
When I found that out, I thought, oh no, I'm in trouble. I grew up in a family where we were never praised, we were never acknowledged. I was really bad at receiving a compliment, and I was terrible at giving compliments. So, but I wanted Jim to know that he was loved in his love language. So for about a month, I had to rehearse, how do I put the words together? How do I give him words of affirmation? My reward was seeing his face light up when I, complimented him or acknowledged something he did really well or appreciated him. And after about a month, it began to feel more normal. And then shortly after that, my adult son came to me and said, Mom, I was an easy kid. I didn't cause you much trouble. Why didn't you ever say that to me? Why didn't you ever compliment me? And it just broke my heart because I duplicated the pattern from my childhood by not giving my son praise and recognition. So since that day, which was many years ago now, every time I see my son Peter, I I find something to appreciate, something to acknowledge. And it's interesting, the first year or two I was doing that, it was uncomfortable for him because he wasn't used to it. But now he takes it in and appreciates it, and he's even giving me words of appreciation back, which was wonderful.
I love that.
Yeah. Okay, so you
It's
mentioned
never too late.
you mentioned prioritizing quality time together. How do you and Kevin do that?
So that was something that's hard for me because I'm a workaholic. Like my
Mhm.
career, I'm career driven, goal oriented. So in my mind, early on, me being the more successful I was at that, meaning the more successful my family would be. To me, that was I'm helping doing my part with taking care of the family. And Kevin, not so much. He's like, we need you home. Like, we need to do this together. Like, your presence is needed. So having that balance now, we just kind of like communicate. We have like would you say we do it every week or every other week where we sit down and we kind of go over our schedule. We call it a family business meeting, and we go over our schedule, and it has worked to provide him with what I have coming up, and he can provide suggestions as to what I can do better, or he supports me because versus us having to get a babysitter or something, at least one of us can be there. And also letting me know, dog, they're important to me too. Mindy, how can I scale back? Or how can I rearrange things to get quality time? So that's what we kind of get creative with day dates. We do stuff during the week that's kind of help us out. That's convenient. We look for things that we can do as a family together, but also that could maybe occupy council. Like the other day, we went downtown to the river park. So while council was just playing at the park, we were able to sit side by side, rub and listen to the music, and still get that time in.
So you very consciously get together once or twice a month to plan your schedules and make sure that you have couple time planned in there.
Yeah, man, because I work 2 weeks nights, 2 weeks days. So the 2 weeks that I'm on nights, I barely get to see them at all. So those 2 week days, I need my family here. I don't have no time to be playing around. I need my family here. I need to get involved. I'm pretty much missing 2 weeks out of a month without my family. I don't really, I got maybe 20, 30 minutes at home and try to sleep by then. Or by the time I get home, by the phone. Really got 2 weeks out of the month to see what's going on with my family. So I need to be in 2 weeks.
Good for you. Good for you. You sound very much like my husband, Jim. He made sure that we had quality time together every week. I would keep working or doing chores or running errands all the time if it were up to me, but he made sure that didn't happen.
And it changed when we first started dating. Oh, I would do all the planning with the trips or encouraging him to go. Now, my baby planning awesome trips. Like he is so thoughtful. He think of everything. We have an itinerary. Like he thinks it out to the T. It's like everything is. I was like, that used to be my thing with deciding where we're gonna go, picking new places for us to go. Now that he be on it. I love it. Like
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. You talked about reflective listening in the article. I wonder if you can demonstrate what reflective listening is.
oh, we can try. Yes. So I always ask the question. He be like, "Babe, why are you asking me the same question?" Because I'm like, I'm asking to understand. He always say, "Don't do the counselor thing on me." I'm like, I'm not doing the counselor thing
Yeah.
on you.
Yeah.
I am trying to make sure I understand what you're asking me to say, or I want to make sure I get it right. And he do it without him even knowing, because he'll be like, we on the same page. You got me? You understand? So yes, let's see. What can we?
Well, rather than demonstrate it, because that might be a little difficult, but what it means is you repeat back what Kevin has said in your own words to make sure you understand him accurately. And he does the same for you. So it avoids a lot of misunderstandings, correct?
Correct.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm sure that's something you teach your clients as well.
It
It's
is.
something we most definitely need to work on. We do it every once in a while, but we need to work on it.
So what role does appreciation play in the health of your marriage? You mentioned emphasized appreciation and gratitude as building blocks for a healthy marriage. What does that look like?
I know for me, I always say thank you, babe, or I appreciate that. And he's like, you don't have to thank me. Like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Like, and I'm like, I know, but I always give those accolades. But then again, it goes back to our upbringing. I come from a family with giving accolades, so it's necessary to me, but it's hard for him to accept those compliments. So again, me going back to making sure I'm doing words of affirmation, or just simply meeting some of his requests, knowing things that I know he likes. So when even though I verbally say I appreciate you, I try to do it physically. Like in our kitchen, that's right by the back door. That is just the place where when me and Kaiser come in, we like a tornado. We dump everything on the kitchen table. Everything. something about the kitchen table. When he comes home, he's like, where's all this stuff on the kitchen table? So showing appreciation, I am intentional and mindful. Let me come back and remove the stuff on the kitchen table or tidy up. And to him, he'll be like, thank you, babe. The kitchen table looked good
Yeah.
today. So just little things like that where I do express it verbally, I still try to do it in a way where he knows he appreciated by just honor and respect. And so that's it. I can remove my purse and kind of shoes and swimming stuff off the table. To let him come home and be like, "Hey, she heard me, or she listened."
Well, in a marriage that's healthy, we make accommodations like that for each other's needs, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah. So I want to mention that you're located in Selma. Is that correct?
So we live in Montgomery.
Okay,
I'm from Selma,
I
so
see.
one of the things I wanted to do a home office. So I have two locations. I have one in Montgomery and one in Selma.
Well, Selma will probably always be famous for its role in the civil rights movement. I'm wondering how that atmosphere that you grew up in has informed your desire to be of service to the community.
Well, I know it wasn't something that we had at all, not to this caliber. Of course, we had a hospital or now a mental health location, but with the community view that as more serious mental health. And so they have caused the divide. So it's like if you don't have this serious mental health, we're not going there and no one to talk to. So, and I know for me, the only counselor we heard of was when I was in high school for, getting you prepared for college and stuff, which was totally different. So I wanted to bring counseling back to my hometown to also introduce the idea of counseling and also to educate the community as well to help them explore that it don't have to be like that. I was trying to change the stigma. So I was intentional about my location in Selma. I was intentional about the design of the office in Selma because I wasn't going against the normal stigma or thoughts that you think you would have when doing counseling. So I had additional um challenges and battles to overcome just so I know I could meet the need of the people. And kind of at this point, I went beyond meeting them halfway because I wanted to make a statement like, hey, I'm here. Let me educate you. Let me try to change the trajectory of what you thought counseling is.
Or that so that counseling can help people in all stages of mental health become better, so they
Right,
create lives they don't have to run away from, right?
right.
You,
Absolutely.
you really have a heart for your community, Mindy. It's been, such a pleasure to interview you this morning. I just love your big smile.
Thank you.
And for people that are listening to this video, if you're in the Montgomery or the Selma area, look up Summer Lane Counseling. You can find her website at summerlanecounseling.com. Thank you, Mindy, and please tell Kevin thank you to him as well.
Hey, I'm sorry I had to make a phone call.
That's
Thank you so much.
quite all right. I'm so glad you were able to join us this morning. It made the experience that much richer to see the two of you together. I'll say goodbye for now, but maybe we'll meet sometime in the future, and this video will be added to your written interview
Okay.
to make it multimedia, and also it will be published on Medium, which is, another another form of getting the word out about the work that you do. I want to do everything I can to support your work.
Thank
Okay.
you so much,
Thank you.
Miss Nancy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I love being called Miss Nancy, and that only happens when someone from the South or from a culture where they, you know, refer to older women as Miss. I just love that. So thank you, Mindy and Kevin. Hope to see you again.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.